Going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 60 Civ World Battle. This is my third attempt. We've had 2 crashes, so if you're seeing this, it's worked by miracle. If you're not, then it doesn't matter, but obviously it means the game's not working anymore. So there we go. We'll try one last time. It's got one last turn to save itself, but we'll see, because I do like 3 strikes and that's it. Policy. It's my normal approach, and it's done it immediately both times. Actually, no, it did it immediately the first time. Second time I got through 1 turn and then it crashed. So hopefully today it just survives. I don't know. All I know that's going to happen this turn is that Texas is going to conquer Lagos, but that's about it. The rest of the time I was just doing a recap. Don't think there was too many sieges going on. I know Brazil is also pretty close to conquering Machu here. That should probably happen fairly soon. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty similar. It seems to be Europe causing me a lot of issues, so maybe if I just don't look at Europe, we might be okay. I have no idea. If not, I will probably just put out the results poll early, and then I'll just try and run this like in the strategic view or something, just as far as I can, and show you what happens. But yeah, it was crashing when the game was like not even in the turn. So I don't have the highest of hopes, but we'll see. Hopefully it turns around. I don't know. We'll find out very soon. Shoshone's turn. I was trying to do a recap previously, but of everything going on in the world, but it didn't seem to like that, so we'll avoid that. We'll just try and remember based on what's going on. Other wars, I mean, Mao is close to grabbing this city off Persia, so maybe there is a chance for them. Could be interesting. But yeah, Texas is going to be the main event of this turn, at the very least. Eliminating another civ. There we go. Nigeria is out. That's it for them. 1 less civ in the game. Did China? No, they didn't quite take it. Poland and Lithuania dropping a few denouncements. We'll see what happens next. Phoenicia, Burma. Everyone getting their first turn of the episode. We are at turn 326. I mean, much further than we would have gone in the previous, on my old PC. At least in episodes. Obviously I might have shown you what happened afterwards, but yeah, we've gone pretty far, and hopefully it works. I mean, we're on to the next turn here, which is already 1 step further than I've been before, so that's something at least. It's fairly nice. I don't really know what to look at though, so I'm really cautious now about moving it. We'll maybe just stare at the same place for a long time, and I'll try and fill it with great commentary. Brazil is closing in on sieging out Machu here, and wait, oh, the Inca's trying to grab this. I was very confused. I don't think this will work. That pikeman's a little bit out of date, but the Inca are trying to get this off Brazil. I mean, that's interesting. I didn't see that happening. These rocket artillery could maybe do it, but I don't think so. I think Brazil should be fine. Also, California may be sparing them, because I don't know if Brazil will drop a nuke, because here would be like an amazing nuke spot, like hitting 2 big cities, but California would have to be dragged in. I don't know if Brazil would be open to that idea. We'll find out, but there we go. They do grab the city of Machu. So there we go. A big one, and it stays at 20 population, so that is a big gain for Brazil. Will boost their score quite a bit, probably. I'd hazard a guess. What's that? That's like a 20% increase in the size of their country, essentially. And a big chunk of the Atlantic Ocean. They can now do a bit more. Go north. Probably makes it easier to attack the Corral again in the future. Oh, we got a big peace deal too. The Shoshone and Carthage. Now, as someone has kindly pointed out, I probably have got the timelines a bit wrong. But at this point, most of the civs can probably see each other, because most of them probably have satellites. Or at least a good, maybe half of them do. I don't know. I can't remember exactly where satellites are. I think it's still fairly late in the tree. But yeah, maybe a lot of the civs can see each other. Definitely some of the big ones can, I would guess. Obviously, we saw Russia had nuclear missiles just out of nowhere. I'm guessing Brazil is the leader tech-wise, so they probably can see everyone as well. But there we go. We'll see what happens. California just entered the information era. There we go. They're getting their Silicon Valley ready. Look, they're ready. They'll be controlling the world's tech in no time. I mean, they've actually done really well. Look how big they've got all these cities too. 28 in Sacramento, San Francisco and Los Angeles both at 17, and San Diego up at the top there at 18. So they've done quite well. And Russia pieced out with Mao, so no more nukes for Mr. Mao. It's probably all he wants. What I want too, as someone who's picked them to win this game. And here we go. China versus Persia. The big one. The big one. Well, not the big one, but it's all we got left now. We got to go with it. all that remains. Right, we got 5 minutes. That's one. Is that of an hour? What is that? That is 1/12. We're 1/12 of the way through, game. You can do this. There's only 22 turns to go to get to 350. Portugal has completed the Apollo program. I would like do an update. I don't know. There's not much going on in Europe, but I don't want to look at it. It's crashed twice when I scrolled over Europe. Ethiopia piecing out with the Zulu. That was not that important. I don't know if there was any fighting for Madagascar and stuff. No, not really. Ethiopia weren't really going for it, so fair enough. They tried. Didn't really lead to much. Japan versus Burma. Does this matter? I think it does now. Weirdly enough. Yes. I mean, Japan has to go quite a long way around, but they have open borders with Korea, so that helps. Yeah, this could be pretty big if Japan grabs this. Not sure Korea will be too impressed, but Japan kicking up a bit of an effort. Obviously, we saw them conquer the Khmer and Indonesia, so that is, yeah, they're on the right track. We'll see. They got a lot of resources there as well. They got some oil. How did Jakarta get so low? Oh, I think it's if you take a city with a boat. Or I guess it depends on the unit. But, you know, depending on what unit you conquer the city with, it does like more damage to the population, I think. It's also like harder to defend if you hit it with a boat, for example, than it would be if it was an infantry, with what you get in terms of the new defense level. Texas has declared war on the Iroquois. There we go. So that's 2 big wars just right next to each other. Thank you, game. Appreciate it. That's pretty rare that you've helped me out like that today, but we'll take it. And Texas coming, I was going to say from both sides, but that's Portugal. Very similar colour schemes, white with blue, but that is not Texas. This is Texas. This is Texas. This is Portugal. But here we go. We should see Texas probably grab 2 cities here and continue in their ascendancy. They're doing quite well. I think they will be I don't know what I was going to say. They're climbing. I was sort of climbing and then thinking of some other word that just never came. Climbing their way back into the top 10. So there we go. The Zulu and Carthage have peaced out, as is Carthage and the Harappans. Neither of those important. Carthage probably doesn't have satellites, so they probably don't even know where those guys are. I don't know, what do you have? Yeah, they have Great War Infantry. They don't have satellites yet. They're still a bit further down the tree than that. But maybe one day they'll know who these random countries they were at war with were. Potentially. I'm surprised the Papal States have survived. Them and Czechia, they're both just pushing on through. Just doing their thing. Not much to be done. There we go. France, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here. They are obviously the biggest civ in the world. We have to give them some attention. I can't make it unfair. Obviously, this game is going to be decided by how, you know, in part by how much attention I give some of these civs. Because you guys are going to be voting, and if I just forget to show you that France is running away with it, you might not vote for them. Although they're not really doing much, so maybe they don't deserve to win. I don't know. It doesn't matter too much, but there you go. I'm sure I always get comments from people who I assume just haven't listened or haven't watched the comment, like, why are we voting? This is such a stupid way to end the game, and they're like moaning at people's votes. Guys, chill. There's no other way to decide. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry. You're not losing anything. There's no gambling on this, is there? We're all okay. Okay, nothing's riding on it. Doesn't matter. You can have whoever you think wins. Okay, just don't worry about it. Just don't leave me mean comments saying it's a dumb way. I know it's not a smart way. There's just no other way to do it. I don't even know who's going to be in there. I was ready to start looking because obviously I thought I was going to have to end the game early, but finally it looks like third time is the charm. We're getting somewhere. I'm not going to even dare to open any menus while the turn is processing though. That would be very bold. Right, Texas have not been yet. They went last turn, but they've got this city in the red already. Japan so far not as much progress, but they are committing to this, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if India joins in. That would be nice. Or Korea, I mean somebody, like, not that I've got anything against Burma, or vice versa, right? If Korea attacked Japan now, that would be a real plot twist. We'd see what happens then. I'm not really sure how that would go down. I think Korea obviously has the advantage, technology, more units, better navy, but Japan looks like they know what they're doing. They're playing to their strengths. So it could be quite an interesting one. And obviously the Muri could also get involved. They're quite a big civ down here as well that just go under the radar because they're sort of out of the way. But yeah, there's a lot of big civs. I don't know who I'd put in the top 10. I have no idea. Here we go. We've got 20 turns left. Let's see. How many out of the 10 could I get right? Even though I'll definitely forget to come back and check this. So again, doesn't really matter. The Shoshone were up there for a long time. In North America, let's start over there. Mao Zedong completes the Manhattan Project. That sucks. Like, he got nuked and he's just like, right, we must have one of those. But yeah, that shows the difference. I don't know how Russia has a nuclear missile, to be honest. That seems a bit ridiculous, but okay, fair enough. The Shoshone have been up there for a while. They were always in the info addicts earlier on, so I'm not going to discredit them just yet. So I'd say they're in there, and I think Texas may be a capable civ to be in there too now not second, but the second one I'm putting in. I think Brazil gets in. I think Brazil's big enough. I think they're 3. I don't think any civs from Africa get in. Am I being harsh on something? No, they're all like the similar side. I couldn't tell you who's a bit. Maybe one of them like comes 10th. I don't know. Maybe one of them, the best of them, comes 10th place. But I don't even know who that is from just by eye. Could be any of them. Maybe the Congo squeeze in into like 10th place. I don't know. It's very close. I think France is obviously in. Russia, the Huns, I don't know. One of those might be in. Maybe even Poland, Lithuania. I guess it depends what factors go into score and how much they're weighted. Portugal could also be a maybe, but I think I'd definitely say France. That's it from Europe. The only definite, and actually maybe Sweden. But again, I don't know. There's too many. I'm already like nearly over, and I haven't included Korea, Mao's China, and the Muri. So yeah, there's plenty of civs that could get in the top 10. I don't know. It's too hard to predict. I don't know who is actually going to be your options to vote on. But I'll find out obviously in 20 turns time, and I'll let you know. We can pick the winner. And every position. Well, you get to pick everyone in the top 10, essentially. Just remember, you're voting for who is last each time, except in the first versus second vote. But apart from that, you're voting for last place. So yeah, vote to eliminate. Who do you hate the most? That's how to think about it. It's not vote for good. Vote is bad in this. Until the last 2 or 3. I think it's 3 we do. I don't remember, but there you go. Because the main problem with like doing it good positive voting, I think I explained this before, but if it's like vote for the best one, then everyone will probably, and then you have the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th place civs in the first vote. So if you all vote for the 7th as the best one, the 8th and the 9th don't really get a fair representation of how much better they are than the 10th, because everyone might just vote for the 7th best civ, and then it's not really fair. The other 3 will all be similar low. So it's easy just to say vote for the worst, and then the other 3, it will be more spread out, I think. And then only the 1 gets eliminated. California and Texas and Rhodesia all complete the Apollo program at the same time. Everyone's going to space in this game. That's how it's going. Mao, are you going to get this? You seemed close, and now you've actually oh no, it's your turn now. Never mind. Go on, you can do this. Okay, back into the red. Poland and Lithuania have now also completed the Manhattan and Texas, sorry, did not get the space program. They got the Manhattan Project. I read that wrong. There we go. Texas and Poland completing Manhattan projects around the same time as Mao's China. Obviously, Mao was not doing as good at the start, but now he is really strong. So fair enough. We'll see how their relations with Korea develop. If we can continue, hopefully, to push the game further in turns. There might be a bit of a weird schedule this week because I do that actually. I forgot how close we were to the end. Hopefully, we'll get to sort of 350 today, or 1 or 2 turns off of it, and I'll just get there. As an extra part to this that I'll record later or whatever, I don't know. And then yeah, the rest of this week will probably be the highlight parts, however that plays out. It depends what happens, right? Last time I planned to show you every 10 turns, but nothing happened for 150 turns, so I didn't show you anything because the AI's just stopped for some reason. So we'll see what happens this time. I think now that someone has won the game, like Morocco actually getting the victory, we probably are going to see some more wars, just because they've got nothing else to do, right? It's no longer, the victory types are redundant now. Now it is just about conquering each other. Assuming that AIs think like that. I'm not sure. Maybe they don't. Okay, Texas, how are you getting on? I thought you'd have conquered this by now. Okay, this is the turn, right? They're going to get it this turn. Then there's just one to go for the poor old Iroquois. They still have 4 planes. Are any of these good? Nope, just triplanes. Nothing too advanced. Texas is, meanwhile, hitting them with quite a lot of bombers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult one here. But this will be nice for Texas. Connect all their stuff. I think they are definitely emerging as a real contender to be right up there amongst the top civs. Again, it could be anything. It's on score. I don't have a list. But there we go. The Onondaga has fallen. Texas connects their empire. 1 city remaining. Although the Sioux are just flooding units into it at the moment, which may protect them. And it's very awkward to get to. But with all those planes, I think they should eventually take it. And the Goths have completed the Manhattan Project. As have Burma. But Japan is not really making any progress, so it doesn't matter too much. And Texas just entered the information era as well. Another civ into that final era of the game. Okay, here we go. We're going to brave it. Come on, Russia, don't screw me. The Iroquois recovered their capital, and the Shoshone finally peaced out with them. So I don't know what happened there, but there we go. That's over. Finally, maybe that'll do something else now, hopefully. Polynesia is next to get the Manhattan Project. I mean, is it here? Where did they test? I think they must have tested some. No, I think maybe it was deeper in the Pacific, but I don't know. I don't know exactly where they tested all of them. I doubt anyone does, but maybe they tested some here. But there you go. Polynesia gets the Manhattan Project for themselves. They're doing quite well, you know. 20, 32, 16. I mean, this one's not so good, but I think this is pretty new. I don't think that was there the whole time. Or maybe it was. And obviously they have southern Madagascar, Tonga here. That's another 18 population for them as well. So far away from their starting point. But fair enough. I think that is probably the furthest distance between 2 cities for the same civ. I guess, I don't know. I'm just going by like I just thought I had the face cam on. I don't. I'm literally holding my fingers to the mini-map on the bottom right corner of my monitor to compare this. But the Polynesia, yeah, it's about twice the gap. By finger length, or holding your fingers apart, it is twice the gap that Sweden has to their African cities, is the gap between Polynesia and Tonga. But that's only in one direction. I can't go the other direction. I can't go with, like, you know, from Madagascar. I guess I could go like that, actually, because they are here. You can't see this at all. But I've got my thumb. Imagine your monitor's in front of you. My right thumb is on Madagascar, and my right big finger, I don't know what the fingers are called, is in the far bit where the mouse is. That's a little bit smaller. That's about the same as the gap between Sweden and Swedish Africa and stuff like that. The other direction, yeah, this direction, much further. I don't know, Benin's got quite a fairly big distance between Benin and their city. 25 population here as well. Is there any others? Harappa obviously have one fairly far away here in Australia. Is there any other just completely random settlers? I mean, the Celts, even though they're across an ocean, are still fairly close. It's only a few tiles. The Garamantes did just complete the Manhattan Project. Yeah, I don't think there's any others that are that sort of far. Most of the border gore's been cleaned up from that regards as well. I guess Texas, although they have little, you know, they have bits in the Atlantic and stuff, so it's not as bad, but they do obviously have their cities in Africa as well. Here we go. The siege of the Aztec capital is beginning from the... No, it's not beginning, but the Aztecs are fighting back. But yeah, so far, I think the Aztecs will survive, at least for now. I wonder if California's thinking about getting involved. I don't think they've been in any wars all game that have mattered, or like done anything particularly important, but it'd be nice to see them do something. Won't get our hopes up, though. That would be cruel. Songhai next to complete the Manhattan Project. Sorry about that. That was just like trying to stifle a hiccup thingy. Not even a hiccup, was it? I don't know. Some sort of noise. Pakal has completed the Apollo. Oh, okay, there we go. The Mayans actually are making some progress. That took a while, but they got it going. They turned it around. That's nice to see. The Mayans are going to space, and the Songhai have developed nukes. So there we go. What's next, Brazil? Brazil doing anything against the Incans? Obviously, the rest of the Incans. No, I mean, they're doing some sieges. They are putting modern armor here as well. Pretty good units. Maybe they do get something. Maybe I've been a bit harsh. I don't know. Maybe Brazil does. If they focus all on one city at a time, yeah, they could definitely get this one. Then come up this way, get this one. Once you get one, it becomes a lot easier, because then you've just got an access point. Like, if they can get this one, they can just come around the bottom. It gets a whole lot easier. But the first one will be the most difficult. I mean, and saying that, this one wouldn't actually help that much because of the mountains. But yeah, if they can get this city, that would help them come through a lot more. They wouldn't obviously be getting shot as they came through either, so that helps. Yeah, that would certainly help them out. And obviously if they go up... Oh, they're... Okay, I did miss this. Corral here fell to the Incans. That happened. Don't know when, but it happened. It occurred. Must have missed that at the top. I thought it might happen. There we go. That was obviously held by Brazil. But now the Inca have got a hold of it. So there we go. That is a 1-for-1 trade. Obviously definitely favouring Brazil. Brazil got a much better city. But that will annoy Brazil. They put a lot of work into grabbing that city, and now they've lost it. So there we go. And it cleans up the border gore a bit, even if it's not ideal for the Incans. They don't care about border gore at all, but they got to take something. I can't give them any more than that, I'm afraid. Texas not making much progress yet against the other Iroquois city, I'm afraid. It's a bit of a shame. I wonder how Japan's getting on against Burma. A little bit of damage, but nothing serious. Burma's putting up a good defense. They've got plenty of units. And Mao, he's close, but I mean, there is some tanks there, so maybe there's a chance if they kill that marine unit that's in front of the only way they can go to get the city, there's a chance. He's also fighting Harappa, so there you go. Harappa and Persia teaming up here in this defense. I don't know how this will go, but yeah, some tanks here. Probably not what those infantry units wanted to see, just a load of tanks. Mao seems to favour the tanks. I'm looking, he has a lot of them. Those and land ships, which is quite an interesting mix, because a lot of civs go infantry heavy. I guess obviously some of them are limited to that if they haven't got tanks unlocked. And oil, maybe just very available. I don't know, and maybe he didn't research planes for a while. I don't know how he's ended up with so many, but there we go. Morocco becomes the world leader again. They only needed 14 votes, and they've managed to amass that. I don't know how exactly you can amass the 14 votes in a game with no city-states, but they appear to have done it. I don't know how. I know you can get some votes from different things, so they must have just done those. But there you go. There's a wonder that gives you some. There must be some other things, I guess, as well. I don't know if you can... Oh, you can get it through having your spies as... Is it ambassadors? I don't know what the word is, but you know, putting your spies in other people's capitals. But not as spies, as like diplomats, I guess. So maybe they just had more spies than the rest of the world? Is there a way to get more spies? I don't know. Maybe they just did it first. I have no idea. Although, no, maybe... if you win the world leader vote, but don't become the world leader. So, like, you have the most votes, but you don't get enough. I think in that case, you do get some extra votes. So maybe they were just the first time, like, they just got lucky and won, like, the first one somehow. Or they built the wonder that gave them the extra votes. They then won the first one and then just kept building up to it. I don't know. They must have done something like that. And the Aztecs are the next civ eliminated, as the Mayans mounting a little bit of a comeback here in Central America. I mean, it's not perfect, but they're up to 4 cities here now. They still have Cuba as well, so they're making some progress. They got a little bit more. You know, I mean, if they'd never given that city to Texas, who knows? It'd be a lot easier for them to move around. They might be doing a bit better, but I think they are still an easy target. I think California may be thinking about it. Texas may come back down this way once they're done up north, so I wouldn't be... they're not out of the woods yet, that's for sure. For the Murray, Phoenicia, Burma. There is not much going on, I apologise. Polynesia, who is this? Polynesia, the Shoshone, and into the information era, At the same time, which is a surprise because they're sort of contrasting countries that are nearby each other. Atomic era for the Papal States, not so good. Texas should now eliminate them at some point. I'm pretty sure that will be done. 13 turns to go. Demographics right now. Okay, there's a bit. France's domination has fallen a little bit. At one point, they had all of these stats very briefly. It didn't last long. Brazil has now completed the entire tech tree. Their units don't represent that, so obviously some of them just maybe not having the money to upgrade or the resources. But there we go. France leads the way with 53 million people. 490 though is the leading crop yield, and that is the Murray. Production is also led by France at the moment at 609 million tons. Economically, it is still Mao's China. They've been leading that for a while now. The Shoshone, still the biggest by land, which is a bit of a surprise. They're not really grown for a while, but I mean, no one else is growing too much. It would take like a really big country by the sea that's still growing into the ocean to overtake that, or, you know, a lot of conquering, which is possible, but it would. There's no one really. I don't think there's anyone close to it. France isn't doing anything. Maybe they could get there. Texas might if they continue to take people out between now and the end. And then, yeah, France is leading with 1.2 million soldiers. And then Brazil again, 99% literacy. So I think that means the whole tech tree is done. Obviously, you just get future tech or whatever it is in Civ 5. I think it's called something else in Civ 5. Or maybe it is future tech. You just get that over and over again. But there you go. The Aztecs, back from the dead. A couple of units still lurking around. Managed to make the comeback. I do feel bad for that. Maybe that is an issue. Maybe we should have killed them off, but never mind. They're back. Hopefully the Mayans get it again. I do feel a bit sorry for them. Obviously, once they lose that infantry unit, that will be it for the Aztecs, I'm afraid. And it's only 60 defense. That's not as hard anymore. They should be able to get it. Byzantium only just into the atomic era. I mean, the Middle East has been... No! Okay, I ran it forward. We're at turn 350. We won't be going any further because it breaks. I'm not even sure I can show you what changes have happened without it crashing, but we got here. So I will run over the top 10 and a few things of what happened. But it's top 10 based on score. There's some big surprises. The demographics clearly were also not a good measure of who was doing well. So one civ, and arguably the best one, might have to fight their way all the way through every stage of the vote, which is incredible. But there you go. The points are actually pretty close. I just used score, so I'll just quickly go through the top 10, and then I'll try and show you the changes to the map, so you can maybe make informed decisions. And then, yeah, I don't know. We'll do the vote throughout the week, and I'll probably start a new AI only next Sunday. That will be sort of the plan. So a bit of a week off, essentially. I don't know what I'll do in place. I probably won't do anything, but there will be some. I don't know. Maybe not. The Huns came 10th. So there you go. They got 929. Luckily, it fit perfectly, actually. So everyone who's in the top 10 scored 900 points or more. So that was just easy. I picked out all the ones that got 1,000 or more. Then I did 900, and we had 10. So Huns were 10th with 929. Portugal was next, only 5 points more at 934. And then Sweden, 936. So that's 8th. So these will all be in that first vote to pick who comes last of the top 10. I mean, not last overall. There's loads of civs that didn't make it. Portugal, Sweden, the Huns. So the Huns 10th, Portugal 9th, Sweden 8th. 7th is France. Don't ask me, but they had 1,106. It's very close between the rest of them, don't worry. But France is in 7th. Score is obviously dependent on different factors to not winning the demographics, or winning a lot of demographics didn't matter. So France, who we thought was the best civ in the world, and probably is, will have to fight the whole way through the votes from you guys if they are to win. 6th place is the Murray with 1,124. So there you go. Good job, Murray. They've been pretty cool. 5th is the Shoshone with 1,137. They are actually attacking California right now. That is the main event, I think. I think that's the only real thing that's happened since we stopped about 12 turns ago, I think. I had to go all the way back through from the start again, but, 12 turns ago. Who was next? What did I just say? I said the Shoshone. So ahead of the Shoshone with 1,155 is Texas. I said they were climbing. I think they have killed the Iroquois now, based on the mini-map. I will try and check in a second. 3rd is Brazil with 1,189. 2nd is Korea with 1,213. And you're probably wondering, who's won then? Who's won this game? What's going on? Well, it doesn't matter because it's a vote, so I'm going to have it ripped cruelly away from me, I'm guessing. But China did somehow come first. Again, score is obviously based on some other factors. I don't think China probably won, but there you go. They did win on score with 1,280. Like I said, they'll be in the vote. There's at least, I think there's 7 really good civs there. Portugal, Sweden, the Huns, I think are maybe a tier below the other 7, but there you go. They all make it in. I don't know if there's anyone on there. I think the Sioux were the nearest who missed out. I think they were next in line, which is quite impressive because they only have 3 cities, but there you go. Yeah, we'll try and have a look around the map, and hopefully it won't crash again. But, if it does, we'll just move on. San Diego's fallen here. I'm going to go very slowly. Texas did kill the Iroquois. The rest of it's all the same. All the same. South America's still the same. Yeah, although it looks like Brazil's dropped some nukes, maybe. Or just very... Yeah, they've nuked Cusco here. I'm guessing this one too, it maybe just isn't loading up. Right, now Africa's kind of the same. Rhodesia did just conquer this last turn. And they're making some progress. I don't know if these are nukes as well. Takes a while to load in the radiation. But when you see lots of smoke, sometimes it does mean nukes. Not all the time. But apart from that, Africa's still very much the same. I'm trying to avoid... It's looking at the units that genuinely causes the game to break. So if I sort of hover over the sea, we're normally alright. But that looks all the same, the rest of that. I don't see anything crazy going on. The Sumer are still here. China did eventually grab this city off Persia. The rest of Europe is still the same. Europe's always scary to hover. Yep, that's crashed. But there you go. You get what I mean. The rest of Asia was the same. So yeah, we'll have a vote, and I'll start a new one next week with not so many civs. I think it's the number of civs that might be the issue here. I mean, the PC, it's still like going, when I was off the I did it in strategic view and it was still going forward, but obviously there's no point if going forward if I can't show you what's happened. So yeah, that will be it for this one. But yeah, there will be the vote. It'll be in the community tab as normal. That will probably, the first vote will probably go out after this episode, and then the other ones will sort of be one a day for a week or so or whatever till we pick a winner, and then we'll start a new one. So apologies for the maybe annoying ending. It was very annoying for me too. I've wasted like a whole day at this point of recording time. I was supposed to have got like 2 full hour length episodes out. I've got like 30 minutes, so there we go. But thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the